So this is an update video, October 11th, 2025. It's an update because, about 4 months ago, I took my videos down. I don't know. I know a lot of people like them, and I never published them. I never tried to make money or post them around the Ethernet. I didn't care. I just, a few friends liked them and a few other people watched them, and that was great. But I wasn't doing them for myself, that's for sure. And, there came a point where I felt like, folks, if you're interested in being a seeker, find and looking into these the knowledge of India, Vedanta Hinduism, Buddhism specifically and mostly, I felt go read the books, go meditate. But I think we all learn from these quotes, and I found some of these ideas recently, and I realized that maybe I'm just learning how to do these videos. I think some of them were more complicated and they'd have 6 or 7 quotes. And quite frankly, they were hard to put together. So I had the idea that maybe if I just did a quick quote and a couple quick comments, that would do it. So maybe I'll title this quote 1. Hopefully it's not longer than 3 minutes, 2 minutes. But let me just recognize the quote is from the great Ramakrishna, the book on the bottom right. The great Ramarkrishna is the late 1800s. Some call him an avatar or an incarnation of God. He's pure consciousness. Go read about it and decide that. Yeah, but I just wanted to say, there it is. There's the quote. And here it comes. Every time I think about this quote, I just laugh. Okay. Only 2 kinds of people can attain self-knowledge. Now notice the capital S. Self being God, consciousness, total oneness with God, whatever words you want to put into that. Only 2 kinds of people can attain self-knowledge. Those who are not encumbered at all with learning, that is to say, whose minds are not overcrowded with thoughts borrowed from others. I just can't help but laugh. Some people would call it pundits. Yeah. And let me just finish this. And those who, after studying all the scriptures and scientists, have come to realize that they know nothing. I just think it's fabulous because I fit both categories to a T. You have to know, too, the great Ramakrishna and his 2 big books, the Gospels of Sri Ramakrishna, who I highly recommend, were written by, his pseudonym is M, and he was a great devotee and disciple of Ramakrishna, but he was also a principal of a school in Calcutta and was continued to be a principal. And it's so funny because when he writes the books, it starts off by M walking in thinking he was all that because he was so knowledgeable in the science and the learning and the books. And right away, Ramakrishna says, what knowledge does your wife have? Or he started talking about knowledge, but knowledge to the great Ramarkrishna, and really in a lot of Vedanta Hindu literature, means awareness of consciousness or God, awareness of spirit. It's not book learning. So now that I've said that, and he loved the author M, who was a devotee of Ramarkrishna. So he's not saying if you have some knowledge in books that's bad. Let me read it again. Only 2 kinds of people can attain self-knowledge. Those who are not encumbered at all with learning, that is to say, whose minds are not overcrowded with thoughts borrowed from others. Now, I will comment now. I was just too full of myself, I think, and too full of of others, people saying this is the way and this is the only way. And I just laugh now because it became a barrier to seeking the truth and self-knowledge. Anyway, and those after studying all the scriptures and sciences have come to realize that they know nothing. There was a point a little while ago that I almost said that to myself. I read it all, and you know what? The only thing that matters is realization, which is also a quote from so many different great gurus. Book learning or all the knowledge in the world is almost, it's fascinating, but all that matters is realization. And you can look that up yourself too. But I think that's just the greatest and greatest quote. And I just have to laugh. And I've apologized several times of my ego and arrogance that might have gotten in the way of friendships and my personal search for self-knowledge. And But now I just let all that go too. And anyway, there's quote number one, and boy, they're everywhere. But that one just got me. And anybody that knows me will know what I'm talking about. All right.